Welcome back, folks, to yet another Player of the Year edition of the Jimmy O Show. On the Fear the Wave Cast Network. We got some pretty special guests who really don't need any introduction, but we'll go ahead and introduce them anyway. We got Tyjae Spears down there. How we doing, Top?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah, good to have you. And Mr. Michael Pratt. How you doing, Michael?
Doing well.
Thank you. Guys, before we get started, we want to make sure folks check out our webpage at the Fear the Wave Collective, ftwcollective.com. You get more information on the collective and the opportunities we have for these special athletes. And we want to highlight our charity partner for this week. Our charity partner, the one that we're highlighting, is the Devin Walker Foundation. That foundation is doing great work to bring awareness to critical care needs and emergency services for spinal cord injuries. And speaking of Devin, you probably saw, and something we were very happy to be a part of as a collective, was to be in the background of the big news that Devin Walker is going to be joining the team at the Cotton Bowl. That's pretty good stuff, huh?
Yeah, man.
Excited.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. The look on his face was worth it. Worth the price of admission. Speaking of big news, we got some other big news to share. Michael, I think you got some big news to share.
Yeah, I'm super excited to share that I'll be joining the Green Wave for the 2023 season next year.
That's amazing, man. Yep. We're very excited to hear it. Yep. Wait. What's going on here? We got an intruder here. Who's this? Sincere. What you doing here? Co-captain Sincere Haynesworth.
A little bit of thunder. I'll be joining my boy back here next year.
Gotta run it back. That's amazing. So quell any concerns out there. We got two offensive captains returning for the 2023 season. How you doing, boys?
We're excited.
Guys,
we're excited.
Brett's excited. He's getting jealous down there.
Nah, man, I don't know, man.
Top 50 pick, running it back one more time. Nah, we ain't messing with you like that, Tyjae. We get it.
Ooh, it's gonna be hard doing it without him, man. Dang, I got used to him for 4 years, man. It's gonna be hard.
Well, let's start with that. We'll talk about that. I mean, talk about, Tyjae, you're one of the leaders team as well, obviously, and people talk about the example that you set, the humility, and just the work ethic that you brought to the table every day. But the leadership that these guys, as the offensive captains, had to bring when times weren't always the greatest, right? Adversity hits. Talk about a little bit of their leadership, what you admired about it over the course of the season.
It's like, I get in these interviews and say the same thing because I really mean it, man. Like, these dudes are the same people every day. So, like, Pratt get on me every day. Sincere do the same thing. Like, we even got a competition. So, I think me and Pratt winning because his partner ain't here. So, it'd be me and Pratt. Teaming up versus him and Joey Claybook. It's just
Outworking him every day.
Outworking him.
True.
Yeah. He gonna tell stories right here.
Not
But
true.
it's just, man, it's just the love that we built up for each other. Also, the accountability, man. It's just like, it's the best. It's I don't know, man. It's just the best thing I ever seen, man.
Yeah.
Like, just in a team scenario, like, it's just.
I get it, man. Look, one of the coolest things, as awesome as that game was, and going on the field, and the people listening to the show have heard it already because I talked to some of the other guys about it, but I'm going to say it again because I hadn't talked to y'all about it. The coolest thing about the whole thing was that every dude I lived with, when we went undefeated 24 years ago, we had a very special season just like you. All those guys came back for that game. We were all sitting together. We all went to dinner together. We went out the night before. I mean, being able to do that 24 years later, I mean, that's everything. And it's because of all of the stuff that you're talking about, all of hard time, those 5 a.m. mornings and everything else that went into achieving that team success. I've had a lot of individual success in my life. I'm going to tell you right now, none of that individual success ever comes close to matching in terms of what it means here than what you do with your brothers.
Yeah, it's like we all got to have success for one person to have success because, if it ain't for Big Boy right here, me and Pratt ain't going to have success. It ain't for Pratt, I won't have success anymore. It ain't for, we all just work. We just work as a collective, man.
Yeah, there's no doubt, man. And look, Sincere, offensive linemen don't get all the crap. I mean, these guys made a lot of headlines this year. I guess you just take a special pride, though, knowing that none of that happens without the efforts of you, Joey, and the rest of the guys up front.
I just like to see these guys winning first and foremost, though. Just them doing their thing and being able to help with that it means that's it's a I don't know how they say it, but like it's a passion thing. It's like that's all the reward and recognition I need is through these guys.
Yeah, and look, man, it was just awesome watching y'all work. And really, I know y'all noticed it, and y'all were good early in the season, but like where y'all got to as a unit by the end of the season, man, it was something. I mean, this guy could have worn a tuxedo into that championship game and not gotten it dirty. You know what I mean? And he went to work. He was the chef. I mean, he carved those guys up every throw in the play. I mean, it was one of the best quarterback games I've ever seen in my life. But you can't do that, obviously, without that clean pocket.
Not at all.
And so, guys, I know we're riding high, deservedly so. Was there anything in this season where it kind of served as a turning point or a recognition moment for you collectively as an offense, where you said, you know what, we've been good, but we got another gear in us, or we see it. We're realizing now that we're an elite offense in college football.
I'll go first. I think one of the biggest turning points was really after the Southern Miss game. Obviously, I wish we would have won that game, but I think that was one of the major turning points of like, all right, let's get back on track, because we were coming off that big Kansas State win, and then obviously I was out for the Houston game, but what they were able to do, and Kai stepping up, was really awesome to see. And I think the thing that great teams do is progressively get better week by week, and I think we did that. We came back with that big ECU win, and just from there, I think we just continued to get better and better and better, and that's what's led to a lot of the success we had.
Yeah. I mean, and Nick and Dorian and some of those guys touched on that too. It's like some of them, Nick wouldn't say it, but others are saying some of the things he said in the room after. It's like if you don't lose that game, I'm not sure you get that Houston win. Just
Absolutely.
Because the way you guys responded to the adversity, your guy was out. And then you thought Justin was going to come in and do it, and Justin looks great for a drive, gets hurt. Third string, didn't matter. There was no excuses. There's no letdown. You looking like, Amari Cooper or something down there with hands catching the end zone and winning. Tyjae, the running back's not supposed to receive the ball that way, but you look great doing it. It's just like whatever means necessary, right? And
I think that's one of the biggest things we take pride in is the depth that we have. I think that was one of our biggest benefits this year is that, obviously the culture and the accountability. I'd say accountability was the biggest thing that led to a lot of success this year. After last season, we all really stepped up in January once we got back to work, and that's what we said is we got to hold everybody accountable. Because everybody, a lot of people are one play away, people are 2 plays away. So I think that's something that we took a lot of pride in is having that depth and not really stressing when some guys maybe couldn't go. For a game, that everybody stayed prepared and, was able to carry out their job and be successful at it.
Yeah. One guy on the offense in particular, I just have two guys, because the 6-year guys. Think about everything they've been through in their career. Y'all both very close to Joey and Will, but, it's pretty cool to be able to deliver that for him, huh? Those guys, to have been through this so long and to see them go out on the mountaintop, and you all are, Tyjae. I mean, your last game's going to be in Dallas, but to know where we came from, personally and as a team, and what we went through last year, and where you're going out now, I mean, it's just a real special thing, and it can never be said enough. But it's all of these things you're talking about, Michael. I mean, it's all of this intangible stuff. Some coaches search their whole lives to find that magic formula to build a cohesive 118 guy thing.
Absolutely.
Like this, and it's hard to do. It's elusive, but you guys did it, and people love to give the head coaches credit, and we have a great one, but he can't do it without the leadership of guys like you.
Yeah.
All right, so another guy. Talk about a championship game who I feel really good for. Shea White, first time we play UCF. Shea had a rough game, didn't play his best. He had some drop or two, something he didn't feel great about. Talk about the job he did in that championship game. I mean, one receiver, that deep comeback was lethal.
Yeah.
But I felt great for him. Shea came up, but he brought that all season long, didn't he?
Yeah, Shea's one of those guys that come to practice every single day. He goes 110%. Major leader on this team. He's the same guy every single day. He's always a leader. He's what we would consider a two-lane guy. He's a phenomenal player. He's been one of my most consistent receivers since I've been here. So obviously after that first UCF game where he might have had a drop or two, whatever it was, didn't necessarily maximize on every opportunity he had. After that game, he just continued to progress, and obviously in that championship game, he was huge for us. Running a great route, catching the ball, making some people miss, and scoring on one of the biggest drives of the game to kind of get close to putting it away.
It's like so he was one that we talk about. He was one of those guys that wake up at like 5:30 in the morning, come catch jugs. We've been doing it since since the beginning of spring. And it goes to show like all the hard work just finally played off. Like even like during the season, like everybody probably hit that point. Like he was having a rough point during the season. I remember me getting on him because I remember all those mornings at 5:30 in the morning that he'd get out there and catch jugs. And so I was just like trying to hold him accountable. Like, bro, I know you. You know what I'm saying? You way better than this. So I'm not trying to take none of the credit for his success, but it just showed like how he just locked in and how he just turned it around. Like ever since then, he just been like Pratt said. Like, I agree with everything Pratt said 100%. Like he just was progressing. And it's great to see that from your teammates, because like in football, bro, you gonna hit some tough times, man. You gonna hit walls. It's just like, see him shake back from it. Like it's amazing to see. Like, man, like I'm proud of him, not just him. Like every single person, just a part of this organization that we got going on.
Isn't that look? Hard work pays off, but you know what? Sometimes people put in that work and they don't get the payoff that you guys got, and it's just a wonderful blessing. But speaking of receivers, one downside maybe of coming back. I don't know. I know the guy pretty well, but I've never seen y'all interact. But I imagine Jaquan's always got in your ear talking about how open he was here, there. You're gonna have to hear more of that for another year, right?
He's another guy that comes in every single day, works his butt off. He's one of those guys that he's here early, he's doing extra work. We'll be doing some, and he's got his notebook with all his plays, studying them. He's here after practice, picking up the locker room after games. Amazing, staying when nobody else is here and doing things that nobody else is doing. So a lot of credit to him. And then, on the field, he's just one of those guys that's really consistent. He really doesn't complain about getting the ball and whatnot. He comes to me on the sideline and talks to me about what he saw and what I was seeing, just so that we can be more on the same page. So just another one of those guys that, great leader, does everything the right way.
Quan came. My daughters are here watching this because they're some of y'all biggest fans, and they came out and Quan came help me coach him. It's Carrollton softball 9-10. He just characters doing doing the right thing when nobody's watching. Right?
Exactly.
And this
That's
team's
the definition of him. Yeah, for sure.
This team's full of those guys. Kind of looking at the season, one observation was you talked about sort of the bounce back after Houston and where we were going. You come back, big win against ECU, but there were some games in that stretch. Tyjae, you was just starting to ramp it up, getting more and more carries, and really starting to have this magical run in the season. But what people I don't think realized was the quarterback you were playing in the second half of the season versus the first. The numbers maybe not always showed it, Michael, but like I was at that Tulsa game, man. I like other than there was that one interception. I don't know there was another bad play in the entire game by you. You're right. But because we're having so much success on the ground, Sincere and those guys doing their job, Tyjae being special, like there might be a game that ends with Michael's got 100, you got 175 yards passing, but you played an amazing quarterback. You because of the way that we were running, the way that they were running, and your ability to avoid any mistake, make explosive plays when needed, we literally could not be defeated in those games because we gave no quarter to the opponent. But the final score, final stats are like, Michael Pratt threw for 175 yards. He ran for 35. It's like, yeah, but he made the right play 98% of the time in that game, right? And I just feel like collectively that's what we saw. I mean, that Cincinnati game, those guys came to play. And, I mean, they brought their lunch pails and, we stepped up. We met that challenge, hostile environment, conference championship on the line, hard-fought game. We were tougher, right? Kansas State, we were tougher. I mean, it was just like over and over again. And so that's what I'm always going to remember about you guys this 2022 season going forward. So, Tyjae, what about you, man?
It's just like, I'm going to look this way because I don't want them looking in my eyes, but it's just like all those things just go unnoticed, man. Like, Michael Pratt might be the hardest working quarterback I've been around, and like in the these previous weeks it's been showing. Like, I really mean it. Like, I really look at him like a brother, man. Like, I'm gonna miss him, but
I know it. We all gonna miss you, man. But
We all miss you.
I guess you can preview it, man. Like, so this is the paradigm shift in Tulane athletics. Every time this has happened, every time a season like this has happened in my lifetime and before, the coach left, right?
Yep.
Big flip, turnover in personnel, the whole thing. Coach Fritz decided to stay. You guys coming back. This is a chance to start building a dynasty, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I think that's the biggest reason why I want to stay and come back, because being here for 4 years now and it taking this long to get here, like to this point, and it feels like almost like you want to take care of that now and kind of try to build something and make something of it and leave the guys for the next year with even more,
Yeah.
and to just
like what I'm saying,
build
almost
something.
like that's the standard now. We ain't taking nothing short of that.
Right. Y'all gonna water the garden now, man. Y'all built it, and we ain't gonna let it die. We're gonna water. We're gonna nurture. We're gonna build this
excited
thing
for
into. Man, it's gonna be just a different world for kids in y'all shoes 5 years ago. Tulane's is on a whole different platform now, and it's because of y'all, and y'all gonna make sure to see it through.
No doubt.
That's amazing, guys. I appreciate y'all doing that. And man, whatever I can do to be a small part of it, I love doing it. So I guess we got to leave it on that. We can't do any better than that. Well, the one thing I'll say, we going to Texas, sincere.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to find some good barbecue while we're there,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
we had that conversation
Right now.
on an early Jimmy O show.
Right
We're going to
now.
find
Make
it.
sure that
Some good barbecue.
Pecan Lodge is out there. There's a few
I'll
things.
start doing my research.
Very good. Hard Eights in Dallas. There's a few things. Oh, yeah. Well, folks, guys, thank y'all very much for coming out. And
Thank you for having me.
and just thanks for everything y'all did for Tulane and the whole season. This is very well deserving awards for y'all and big announcements for y'all. And we're so excited about having Mike and Sincere back next year. This is just cool, man. I don't get too overwhelmed with emotion too much, but you guys are getting me close. It's a big deal. And Tyjae, man, I got to make a special show. I can't let this be the last time we talk at the Jimmy O show. We're going to figure something out somewhere along the way, but.
It ain't. Hopefully, I'll be playing right down the road, man. So
That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. You
it'll
come
be
be my
good,
own
man.
co-host.
So I hope y'all watching, bro.
We'll just make it the Tyjae Spears show. You come do Tulane interviews during your off day.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for this very, very special episode of the Jimmy O Show. Y'all be sure to check out what we're doing at ftwcollective.com, and we're going to keep the wave rolling. Till then, next time, roll wave.
Roll away.